to the final edition of ACHA tonight here for the 2019 ACHA National Championship Tournament. It's day 11, the final day here in Frisco, Texas. Glad you guys could join us for ACHA tonight. I'm Matt Coma. This is Brett Luthner hanging out with us as we get to break down the Women's Division 1 and 2 championship games here on Championship Sunday. We'll talk about the D2 tournament in a little bit with Thomas Biondo. But Brett, just from before we break down the championship game, just your grand thoughts about the D1 tournament.
It ended up being a very competitive tournament. There wasn't any real lops. I mean, we had lopsided shot totals, but a lot of close games, everybody in contests all the way through. It was fun hockey to watch, beginning to end. You never really got a sense, even though the shot totals might have been different, that one team was out of it in any one game. Lindenwood Belleville had to go to the limit against Grand Valley State and needed overtime in Game 3, so that was thrilling in itself. And at the end of the day, the top team in the nation takes home the honors, but they had to fight for it as well.
Yeah, say it was not easy for the Flames today. They jumped down to that early 3-0 lead, but the Lynx came back in a flurry in that second period and forced a pretty entertaining third period.
Well, the thing is a little bit of rebound control on the goaltending there, but the Lynx didn't give up. Belleville just kept on pressing and pressing and pressing. That's what they do. And at the end of the day, though, Liberty's firepower too much. That goal that put them up 4-2 was an absolute snipe.
Yeah.
And so, you know, you pick that top corner like that, it just, from there, you could just see Liberty's confidence get back up and build.
So Liberty claims their third title in the Women's Division 1 level. This is the third trophy that they've won, second in a row for this Flames. Are we ready to crown this team as a dynasty in Women's D1 just yet?
You could start to, but there's a couple of others that might have laid claim to that as well. Miami's going to be back. They're only graduating 3 players. They're only graduating 4 next year. They got a ton of freshmen and sophomore on that team, so they'll be good there. You know, Adrian's going to have something to say about it. This Lindenwood Belleville team's a good team, so I think they'll be back as well. We can say for now, Liberty, because they've won 2 in a row, they've been there, you know, 3 of the last 4, but there's other teams that can also jump in there.
Well, I'd say looking at the banners behind us here, the last 6 cups have gone to either Miami or Liberty in one of those 2 Southeast teams. And it just seems like those 2 are the front runners as we move ahead to 2020. And looking ahead, they look like those are going to be the top 2 teams to be here in this league.
Yeah, especially since Miami got a ton of experience at this tournament. Ripley Crossley is an amazing goaltender, and she's a freshman. So a lot of their big players, freshmen and sophomores, so you're going to get those contributions years and years down the road. Liberty's going to always retool. They have a great program down there in Lynchburg. You know, we'd be remiss if we dismissed Adrian. You know, they just ran into a hot Belleville team. Belleville's got a good program as well. Michigan State's got a good program as well. There's so many different ones, but yeah, next year, Liberty and Miami could very well be the top 2.
One final note on Liberty, just your thoughts on Chris Lowe's. He was the D2 men's coach, had a lot of experience on that side. Comes to the women's side, now he's got 2 cups under his belt. What do you think of his performance?
He's always been an excellent coach. I've known that from his men's Division 2 days. He is really a good coach. He implements a wonderful style, an entertaining style of hockey, no matter what team he coaches. So, you know, he had that with the D2 team. You know, his last D2, he took Liberty, he actually got him into the semifinals, beat William Patterson in overtime. Then he switched on off. You know, he was thinking about stepping away, and then the women's team needed a coach, and he stepped right in there. And look what he's done with this team since then.
So Liberty is the champion in 2019. All 5 of our champions have now been crowned. We'll talk about the Division 2 tournament coming up next, but before I let you go, Brett, just your initial thought, or just your thoughts overall. I know we had you with the D3 or D2 guys and helping us out with the women's D1. Just your thoughts on Frisco and what we've accomplished over the last 11 days.
Well, what we've accomplished is something crazy because a ton of games that we're all doing, and that's why everybody's tongue-tied at this point. But the tournament was very smooth. There was a lot of good that came out of this tournament. Frisco did a great job hosting down here at the Comerica Center. We were over in Plano as well. They had some other games that third rinks around, but it's been well hosted. everything, it keeps on getting better every single season. How the tournaments are run, how the divisions are played, and how the broadcasts are done as well, because we've gotten tons of feedback on that in a positive manner. So, you know, it keeps on improving and improving, and just it makes it exciting for the fans to watch every year, makes it exciting for us to come down and do every year, and it makes it exciting for the players to get out there and play and show what they got.
Yeah, it's been a fun one down here in Frisco, Texas. We have a laundry list of names to thank for helping us out with the broadcast and pulling off this tournament in Frisco. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. We'll take a break. When we come back, Thomas Biondo joins me to talk about the women's D2 tournament as they crown their champion this morning between Minot State and Assiniboine. We'll talk about that next, and we'll wrap things all up on the final day here of the National Championship Tournament from Frisco, Texas. We'll break it down next right here on ACHA Tonight. Don't go anywhere.
Dallas, Texas, in a stadium that has been sold out for months, the Cotton Bowl.
Notre Dame leading 17-14. 1:10 remaining in the game, and Texas with Street at quarterback. Street gives to the second man for a touchdown for Texas.
The 2020 Bridgestone NHL Winter Classic, an annual celebration of hockey's heritage. Tickets on sale April 23rd. The Cotton Bowl, New Year's Day. It's gonna be a classic.
And welcome back to ACHA Tonight as we wrap things up for a final time here from Frisco, Texas. The final day and games have been complete. We just crowned our Division I champion in our last segment. Our time to crown our Division II champion, as we saw earlier today. As Assiniboine took on Minot State, the Beavers looked like they were the overwhelming favorite. They have beaten this Cougar squad 6 times in the regular season, but the 7th time was the charm, as Assiniboine is the new champions in Women's Division II.
I mean, isn't that the saying? The 7th time's the charm? It must be, but it doesn't matter, you know, if you lose 6 times, if you're going to beat them in the championship game, and that's exactly what the Cougars did.
Yeah, this is Thomas Biondo. He was on the call for this one as we saw a 1-0 score, a defensive battle, which was surprised me a little bit. I thought this had an opportunity to be kind of a run and gun kind of game with how much Minot State has done well offensively, but Assiniboine really slowed them down and didn't allow the Beavers to really get into a zone.
No, you're exactly right. And you know, Paz Echeverria was down in between the benches. He had an opportunity to talk to the coach, the coaching staff of both teams, and the Assiniboine coach could not just be any more happy at the end of the first and then at the end of the game. They had a game plan. They laid it out for the women. The women took it to heart, said that they were going to follow it. They followed it on the ice, and sure enough, that was it. They never let Minot really set up anything. They never really got anything off the rush. They completely shut down the Beavers. You know, we talked about and kind of joked over the last few episodes of ACHA Tonight about how I've seen this Minot, you've seen all of Assiniboine, and I was really like, oh, you're not going to be able to stop that offense. You're not going to be able to stop that offense. Well, that defense shut down that offense. Only 18 shots. I believe they were averaging probably 55 per game through pool play and then the national semifinals.
Yeah, so what can you say about the defense that hasn't been said? Marley Quesnel in between the pipes for Assiniboine. She was fantastic in there. She was up for tournament MVP along with Simone Turner-Cumber. We'll get to her in just a second, but Quesnel in between the pipes really was the rock steady part of this Cougar defense.
And that's how good the defense was, because she just had to be rock steady. She didn't have to be spectacular. She wasn't making double pad kick saves and diving back to reach pucks on the goal line. Her defense was so good in front of her that Minot just couldn't create good opportunities. And whenever they did get an opportunity, she stood tall. She stood on her head. Again, an opportunity here or there. I don't want to take anything away from her. It sounded like she didn't play well. That's not the case at all. And she had a couple of really huge saves in this game. But again, the defense leads to making the goaltender's life easier, and the goaltender's easier life means that they can make saves.
All right, so the champion in Women's Division II is a Canadian team for the 3rd straight year. Lakehead winning the previous 2 years. Now Assiniboine out of the Great White North out of Canada, getting the championship here in 2019. We've been here for 11 days now, and it's been a fun ride. Thomas, just your thoughts on the whole tournament. We've crowned all 5 champions now, and just your thoughts of the 11 days here in Frisco.
I think the competition was better. I think the competition, I go back to the Division I men, where their first game last year, or their first round of games, I believe were decided by a total of 27 goals, if I remember correctly. This year, the opening round of the tournament, the first round of games, I believe were decided by 8 or 10 total, and it just carried on all the way through. All the national championships with D3 maybe a little bit of an exception, but the national championships have been close games, up and down action, just grade A, solid hockey. The non-varsity hockey here has been absolutely fantastic.
All right, so we've crowned our champions. We know what we're going to expect. We've come back again for another season in 2020 here to Frisco, Texas. Thomas, thank you so much for everything. We've appreciated your time here, especially on the ACHA Tonight show, helping us out. And of course, we appreciate your call throughout the tournament.
It's been my pleasure, man. I can't say it. There's no stronger words than I can use than it's just been my absolute pleasure.
All right, so I do have a list of names I want to thank before we sign off for the final time. First off, Russ Slagle, the tournament director here, has put on an amazing job. The city of Frisco, the Dallas Stars, Brad Buckland with the Dallas Stars helping us out a ton here from the Comerica Center. I want to thank the Comerica Center staff, the Children's Health Star Center staffs in Plano and McKinney. I want to thank all of them. I want to thank our broadcast crew, AJ Bolden, our director of broadcasting, putting this tournament on, making sure we got to air all of the games that you saw here on the ACHA Network.
Hopefully he'll be able to get some sleep now.
Yeah, hopefully. Andrew Saunders, Josh Hafley helping us out, Justin Long as well. We'd like to thank all the ACHA commissioners that came on the show throughout the ACHA tonight over the 11 days and helping put on this tournament. I'd like to thank Craig Barnett, the executive director of the ACHA, for helping to put this tournament on. I'd like to thank all my broadcasters. I'm going to go through the list. I hope I didn't miss anybody's name. I think I got all of them. Thomas, Quinn Kuski, Casey Roll, Boz Echevarri, Ryan Jones, Sam Fleming, Cristiano Simonetta, Justin DeVellis, Lou Gamlin, Jared Nyland, Brett Lusner, Andrew Shapiro, John Peterson, Andy Storrs, Brandon Boucher, Rasty McGibbon, everybody that helped us out.
And Todd Corder.
Todd Corder as well. I have
that. Oh, did you? I have missed it.
I didn't get to it yet.
I wanted to make sure my broadcast partner was with me.
Say, everybody that's been part of this broadcast staff, it's been an honor and a pleasure to bring this tournament to you over the last 11 days. It's been an amazing ride here. We'd like to thank all the technical staff as well, all of our camera operators and our technical staff that help put on these broadcasts as well, helping the early cold mornings over at Plano and McKinney and helping us out here at the Comerica Center as well. We want to thank all of you, the fans, for watching as well. It's really been a fun one here from Frisco, Texas. We'll do it again in 1 year's time in 2020. We'll be right back here for another round of the ACHA National Championship Tournament. For one final time, I am Matt Coma signing off from Frisco, Texas. You've been watching the 2019 ACHA National Championship Tournament here from Frisco, Texas. We will see you in 2020 for another year of ACHA hockey. Have a good night.